Hi, I'm Lena, Zoe's wife, partner, soulmate, whatever. Zoe was pretty much in a complete trance for this whole part, so I guess it's up to me to fill in the blanks. And there's a lot. Her whole memory of this is like totally shot. So Laura had just completely hypnotized Zoe over the phone. Like, wow. I mean, I love Laura, but sometimes she's scary. I mean, Zoe dropped into a trance so quickly. I know Laura's voice has a rhythm, a cadence that works like gangbusters. I had to pinch myself hard to keep from going under with her. And watching it happen, I kind of got what Kathy had talked about, the physical responses. Zoe's face smoothed out, her shoulders dropped, then her head lolled onto her shoulder, and she was gone, like totally under. Then Laura broke off for a second.
Lena,
She said. Yes, I replied quietly.
you're still with me? Good. How does she look?
Oh, she's like completely in a trance.
Okay. Take me off speaker for a moment.
I switched and put the phone to my ear.
Are we clear?
Yes,
Step back a bit, just in case. But keep a close eye on Zoe.
I stepped back out of earshot. Okay.
Good. Now listen carefully. We're in uncharted territory here. So I'm not exactly regressing Zoe. I'm just going to try to bring out that subconscious version of Daisy. I don't know if it will work, but if it does, I suspect it will be a bit dramatic.
Like an idiot, I nodded, then realized what I was doing and said, okay.
So I'm going to give you a safe word or an off switch, if you like, so that you can bring Zoe back if things get a little out of hand.
But aren't you going to? I began.
Lena,
She interrupted me.
I presume you want her to take you to wherever this present might be. I can't stay on the phone constantly. This will be on you.
Oh, God, I hadn't thought of it like that. My silence spoke volumes,
Don't worry.
she said calmly.
Just keep your head and it should be fine.
I took a breath and said, okay, I got this. I hope, I thought.
So, let's see. What's a good safe word?
Laura said thoughtfully,
Pineapples. Boring. Good night, Gracie. No, that's me, and no, you can't use that. Actually, forget you heard that one.
being Laura, I half expected it to vanish out of my head when she said that, but it didn't. So I made a mental note for future reference.
Oh, I know. What about Control Alt Delete?
Like the computer reset? I asked.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good for me.
Okay, back on speaker. Let's invite Daisy out to play.
First, Laura did something new to me anyway. She brought Zoe out a little bit, not all the way, but close, then dropped her even deeper. She did this about 2 or 3 times till Zoe was nicely fractionated. That last time, she dropped so hard she nearly toppled off the seat, and I had to steady her.
Zoe, listen carefully now. Somewhere, deep in the secret recesses of your subconscious, there is a part of you that was Daisy. You know that part. You've spoken with her, and I want you now to find that special part of your mind because in a few moments I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. And when I reach the number 1 and snap my fingers, I want you to let that special part of your subconscious, the Daisy part, take over for a little while. Just for a while, so that she can help Lena find your present. It's okay, Zoe. Lena is with you to keep you safe. And if Lena happens to say the words, Control Alt Delete, you will easily and effortlessly awaken completely back to normal, happy and relaxed.
Then she did the countdown, and I watched with bated breath.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It took a few moments. First of all, her posture changed. She took a breath and sat up straighter. Then her eyes opened, and she stretched her arms out like she had just woken up.
Lena, is she?
Laura's voice came from the cell phone speaker. Then, without missing a beat, Zoe, or rather Daisy, picked it up, put it at her ear, said calmly,
Thanks, darling. I'll take it from here.
and hung up. Oh, shit,
You must be Lena?
she said. Yeah, hi, Daisy.
And you used to be Roger. My Roger?
That's right. She looked at me carefully.
Is he still in there?
I guess?
Can I talk to him?
I shrugged. Sorry, I wouldn't know where to start with that, I replied.
I have a message for him.
She announced. Then, before I could ask what it was, she grabbed me and kissed me, hard, full on. And if I needed evidence that this was no longer my Zoe, I sure got it. When me and Zoe kiss with tongues, it's kind of like a dance, mutual, slow, and passionate. With Daisy, it was like a full-blown assault. She wanted in. She wanted every inch of me, with one hand around my waist and the other clamped onto my butt so I couldn't escape. She was relentless. I know we kind of think that people in the past were repressed. I got the idea that Daisy had never been repressed in her life. By the time she finally released me, I was beginning to feel lightheaded,
How about that?
she said with delight.
I kissed a girl, and I liked it.
I'm sure Katy Perry would be thrilled, I gasped.
Pass that on to Roger, would you, sugar?
Whoa, what happened there? The moment she called me sugar, my knees turned to jelly and I got like a hot rush up the back of my neck. Hold it together, Lena, I told myself. You have to... For Zoe. I took a moment to recover myself, whilst Daisy decided to take a turn round the courtyard. Okay, it was definitely all on me now. So I took a breath and began, Daisy? She stopped her tour of the courtyard and danced back to me.
What is it, sweet cheeks?
So you told Zoe you had a present for her?
That's right.
She smiled. So, what is it?
I can't tell you that.
She said playfully.
It'd spoil the surprise.
Okay, where is it? Can you tell me that?
I don't exactly know,
She admitted.
but I know how to find it.
Okay, great. Let's go. She stepped back and put up a hand.
Whoa, hold the phone, sugar.
Oh shit, here we go again. This time was much stronger. I, completely lost focus.
Give a girl a chance.
She continued.
I just got here.
I was still reeling from the sugar rush. I was just about catching my breath as she suddenly whirled to me and asked,
Say, do you have any cigarettes, darling? I haven't had a smoke for nearly 100 years. I'm desperate.
I was kind of confused. I mean, I was pretty sure Zoe had a cigarette before we went to the cemetery, but I guess this was Daisy, not Zoe. Sure, I said, offering my pack. She took one greedily, then paused.
Oh, yeah. No cigarette holder. Oh, well.
I gave her a light, and she drew deep, exhaling expertly from her nostrils. Like Zoe had described.
Mm.
She purred with delight. Okay. So Zoe has commented before on how she sometimes notices the way people smoke, like everyone has their own style. Daisy definitely had her own style, and it was nothing like Zoe. Daisy just seemed to have this natural elegance, the way she held her cigarette, the long, gentle way she drew on it, and the nose exhale. I mean, Zoe tries to do that sometimes, but Daisy just did it effortlessly. Frankly, to my shame, it was kind of a turn on,
Don't you want one, darling?
she said with a little smile. Not right now, I replied. She stepped closer, laying her left arm over my shoulder and gazing into my eyes with a kind of sultry expression.
Yes, you do.
She purred.
I can see it in your eyes. You want it bad.
And I did. Oh God, the scent of her, the presence, and the warm touch of tobacco smoke on her breath. She was driving me nuts. And she knew it.
You want to know a secret?
she whispered seductively. Mm-hmm, I replied, my voice barely a whisper.
Roger never smoked till he met me.
She confided. Then she took another sumptuous puff, exhaling through her nostrils, right into my face.
Did you know that?
No.
It's true. He used to say I was a bad influence. Do you think I'm a bad influence?
Oh, yeah, I sighed.
Good.
She chuckled. Then she whispered urgently.
Why don't you grab that cigarette now? And I'll take a fresh one while you're at it.
Then she tossed her half-smoked cigarette over the wall nonchalantly. Yeah, okay, I couldn't fight it. She had me under a spell or something. I stepped back and grabbed a cigarette for myself, then let her take another. She watched me patiently, gently amused as I lit up, my hands shaking a little. I drew long and deep.
There now. Isn't that nice?
The cool rush of nicotine calmed me a little, but she still had me totally on edge. We really needed to get this over with. Of course, Daisy had other ideas. She took a light from me, then, with her eyes shining, asked brightly,
Have you ever tried a Manhattan?
Yes. Then my memory corrected me. Actually, no, I nearly did, but,
Oh, you must.
she insisted.
They're wonderful.
I don't think that's a good idea, I protested. Daisy pouted at me.
Oh, come on, darling.
She said,
I'm giving Zoe a wedding present. You could at least buy a gal a drink first.
She just stood there, twirling her hips and gazing at me expectantly. It was a bad idea, and I knew it was a bad idea, but she had me so off balance. Frankly, if I was going to have to deal with this, with Daisy, then I could probably use a stiff drink myself. So I took another long, deep puff, exhaling with a heavy sigh, and I relented. Okay, I said, but just one. Daisy squealed with delight, then joyfully took my arm as we went to find the nearest cocktail bar. Daisy watched me carefully as I tried my first Manhattan, playfully toying with her maraschino cherry. It was delicious, and she giggled with delight at my expression.
Isn't it wonderful?
She beamed. Yeah, it's pretty good, I replied. Then she gently kissed her cherry and stuck it in my mouth. The message was clear, so I closed my lips as she pulled out the cocktail stick. The cherry was sweet and complemented the bitters of the drink. Yeah, I liked it. Then she tilted her head back and downed half her glass in one heady rush. Damn. She was no lightweight. I was definitely out of my depth here. Take it easy, I said. This is strong stuff.
You think so? They were stronger in my day, darling.
I took another sip. Already the soothing liquor was taking the edge off a little. But I had to remember that we were meant to be finding Zoe's present. Wriggling on her bar stool like a little girl, she polished off her drink and said,
Hit me again.
Oh no, I said. One is enough. She stroked my cheek gently and said,
I haven't touched a drop since the 1920s. You can forgive a gal for that, can't you? One more? I'll be good.
God help me, I thought. You promise? She nodded. So I got her another, and she did take it more slowly, but that sparkle in her eyes did not fade. She was starting to enjoy herself.
How about another cigarette?
She asked. Sorry, I replied. We can't smoke inside. It's the law.
Really? Oh, yeah.
She replied, like she'd just found that fact in Zoe's memory.
It's a stupid law. Let's have one anyway.
Oh, God, she really would. Oh, no. This law isn't stupid, and we're not breaking it, I said firmly. She pouted for a moment, then declared,
Can't a gal even have a little fun anymore?
You're not here to have fun, I told her. You're here to help me find this present, if there even is one. She acted hurt.
You doubt my word?
She gasped.
Don't you trust me?
I trust Zoe, I replied. I'm not so sure. She stood up, moved in close, and put her arms round me gently.
Don't you like me?
She purred. I knew she was playing me, and she was good at it. She had an advantage. Zoe, she was using my love for Zoe against me. I love Zoe, I asserted.
I am Zoe.
She countered.
You know that, don't you?
Yes, but she silenced me with a kiss. Not the full-on assault this time, just a warm, gentle kiss. The whiskey trace on her breath from the Manhattan. Intoxicating. Then, once our lips parted, she leaned close and whispered in my ear.
Didn't you like that sugar?
God, I don't know what came over me, but it hit like a truck. Again, I went weak at the knees, and that hot rush took me completely. I couldn't fight it. It was like a red mist descended on me, and I had to have her right now. My kiss was as forceful and hungry as hers had been. I wanted to consume her. I was like totally out of control. My hands were all over her. It was wild, hot, and completely crazy. When I finally recovered myself and broke off, she just grinned like the cat that got the cream.
There you are, darlin'.
She purred. I totally panicked. I couldn't let her do that to me again. My only hope was the off switch. Control, Alt, I began, but she put a hand to my lips, cutting me off.
Don't you want Zoe to get her present?
She asked. Damn it! Wilder than the sky! No shit! The truly crazy part was that I felt kind of guilty. I mean, it kind of felt like I was cheating on my wife, but with my wife. How the hell do you cope with that? Daisy whirled.
I feel like dancing.
She declared,
Let's go cut a rug.
oh hell no, I had to get this under control. I downed my cocktail and gasped. Now you listen to me, Daisy Cartwright, I demanded, my nerves set to burst. I clamped my hand down on her arm, forcing her to look at me. I am not letting you take my baby for a test drive all day long. We brought you out for a reason. So, are you going to help me find this present or what? For a moment, her eyes blazed, then flickered as she finally grasped my resolve. Then I swear she pouted like a petulant child.
Roger would never have spoken to me like that.
She said, feigning contrition. I looked her straight in the eyes and said, yes, he would. She was completely silent for a few moments, dropping her eyes to study her feet. Then she looked up at me with a wistful smile.
I knew he was in there somewhere.
She sighed. Then, with a sigh of resignation, she hooked her arm into mine, smiled, and said,
Come on then, darlin'. Let's go find your present.
Once we got outside in the warm Charleston air, I paused so we could light up a cigarette. I needed it. She smiled and accepted one with a grin.
Ain't it kind of funny?
She mused.
In my day, you weren't allowed to drink. Now you're not allowed to smoke.
Yeah, I guess. So we set off. I had no idea what path Daisy was following. I'm not even sure she had. At one point I paused and asked, where are we going?
Hush now.
She replied, then headed off in a whole new direction. She was like following her nose, I guess. I guess we made it to the French Quarter, just off Chalmers Street. Cobblestones underfoot, what looked like gas lanterns along the way. It was beautiful. Then suddenly, mid-stride, Daisy staggered for a moment. Then she stopped by a bench and steadied herself.
I think I need to sit a spell.
She breathed. Then she practically collapsed onto the bench with a sigh.
Oh my.
She gasped.
I guess I must be tired.
Then she closed her eyes and her head dropped onto her chest. I was concerned. Daisy? Then she mumbled something. I couldn't catch it. And then Zoe came back with a sudden, sharp breath in.
Lena?
Baby, is that you?
Yeah. Did we find it?
I'm sorry, honey, we didn't. I sat beside her on the bench, suddenly very tired myself, and pulled her into a huge, desperate hug, burying my face in her shoulder. Honey, please don't ever do that again, I whispered.
I feel Weird.
she muttered, licking her lips experimentally.
Have I been drinking?
Manhattans, I confirmed. She was still too out of it to question that.
Could you get me a drink of water, babe?
She asked. Sure, honey. We had just passed a convenience store, so I left Zoe to process and got a bottle of water for both of us. As I headed back, something caught my attention from the corner of my eye, and I had to stop and take a second look. There was an antique shop, and there in the window was an old photograph in an elegant frame. A woman and a little girl standing proudly in front of a grand old house. And I recognized that house. We had visited it just yesterday. I went back and gave Zoe her water, making sure she didn't rush it. My own, I was not so careful. I downed half of it in one heady rush. Honey, I need to show you something. Can you walk?
Yeah, I think so. What is it?
I helped her up, and she seemed okay, so I took her back to the antique shop window and pointed to the elegant, dark framed picture. Look, isn't that Daisy's house? She carefully examined the sepia-toned picture, and she seemed to shake off her grogginess as she considered the house, the lawn, and the two elegant figures.
Yes, it is. I'm sure of it. Do you think that could be Daisy?
I don't know, maybe. Let's go ask. The shop owner was a lovely lady named Barbara, who greeted us joyfully and was happy to let us take a closer look at the picture. Do you know where it came from? I asked.
Sorry, darling.
She replied.
This has been here longer than I have.
She explained that she had inherited the shop from her father, who died about 3 years ago.
And he was old school and not great at record keeping.
Zoe leaned over the counter and asked breathlessly,
Do you know? Is there maybe something written on the back?
Well, let's take a look, see?
Barbara replied cheerily. She carefully opened the frame and examined the back of the picture with a huge magnifying glass.
Yep,
She smiled.
we got something here. It's kind of faint. It says Sarah and Daisy, front lawn, 1911.
Zoe gasped.
That means something to you?
Barbara said, looking up from her examination. It's kind of a long story, I replied apologetically.
Heck, I ain't exactly busy.
Barbara said, gesturing around the shop. We were the only customers. So we sat down at an old, polished wooden table and told her the whole story. From Zoe's first trance, finding Daisy, through our chance encounter at the party, right up to finding the house, yesterday. About halfway, she let us take a break, shaking her head in amazement.
Wow. Hold that thought, ladies.
She said.
I'll just head out back and grab us something cold to drink.
A few moments later, Zoe gave a sudden start.
It's here.
She whispered. What's that, honey? I asked. Her eyes had gone a little distant, like she wasn't looking at me or this room, but someplace else.
It is here.
She breathed, her voice soft and reverent.
I can feel it.
Okay, so she was using the force or something. I guess this still wasn't the weirdest thing that had happened today. She stood up, then began to wander through the bric-a-brac, not really paying any attention to where she was going, but somehow avoiding any obstacles, like she was following some invisible map. Then she stopped in front of a large glass display case.
Here.
She said.
What's that, darling?
Barbara said as she returned with a tray of drinks. Zoe looked at her absently and asked,
What's in that jewelry box?
Barbara went over to her, opened the display case, and took out a large, ornate jewelry box.
This whole thing?
She said.
I don't know. Let's take a look.
She opened it up, and Zoe went pale. I rushed to her side and took her hand. Baby.
Look.
I looked. The jewelry box was empty. But for one thing, a long black cigarette holder. Now, I'm not an expert or anything, but if I had to guess, I'd say circa 1920s.
Well, How about that?
Barbara said with surprise.
I always thought that old thing was empty.
So we returned to our seats at the table, drank some ice cold root beer, and told Barbara the rest. That is, everything we had done today that had finally brought us here. She was astonished and delighted,
Ladies,
she said with a huge grin.
you have brightened my day like, I don't know what, but damn, what a story. And this is your honeymoon?
Yeah,
Zoe grinned, squeezing my hand gently. Barbara turned all business for a moment.
Okay, I take it you want this?
She pointed at the cigarette holder. We have to have it, I replied without a second thought.
Okay then, make me an offer.
I looked at Zoe. She looked back at me. We both knew how incredibly important this was. I looked at the empty jewelry box. There was a ticket on it that said $50. So I looked back at Barbara and said, $50? Barbara laughed.
Make that 25 and you got a deal.
She replied.
Heck, I'll even throw in the picture and the frame. Call it a wedding present.
We left the shop with our treasures in hand, having thanked Barbara repeatedly, with hugs and kisses all round. Then, as we headed off, hand in hand, back to the hotel, I asked, "Is it really Daisy's?" The radiant smile on my sweetheart's face was all the answer I needed, but she replied,
yes. She had more than just one. You know?
"Of course she did." Then I had a thought. "So, like, can I have your old one?"